I believe that when people know who God says they are and some of the ways in which they can live that out, that we create heaven on earth.
So my name is Maddie Denton. I'm the director of the Neighborhood College Ministry at Missouri United Methodist Church in Columbia. And I met Charity, well, we formally met right before I formally went on staff here. So I was an intern at Missouri UMC for about 2 years working with college ministry. And in that time, I saw us try to do a lot of stuff under different leadership. I got to see and kind of be exposed to what worked and what didn't work with a lot of those attempts. And so one of the conversations that I had with our senior pastor before I started officially working here was conversations around what college ministry would look like, what it would look like to start a service that was targeted towards college-age people, what it was that college students wanted and needed, that kind of thing. And so around that time, I started having conversations with Charity about, these dreams that she was having and these ideas that we had around what this service could look like. And we just started taking walks and casually having meetings and having kind of these brainstorming, dreaming conversations. I got to kind of hear all of the 1,000,004 things that I realized really quickly that I could learn from Charity because she's awesome. And so really that process of getting to know each other and figuring out what that would look like kind of started there. And so then as time has gone on, we just kept getting to know each other and kept hanging out and kept spending time together, dreaming and brainstorming and working together. And I think the mentorship piece of what that looks like kind of happened naturally.
We meet every week and we talk about where we are, how things are going. It's not just an assessment of the ministry and programming. It really is some of the how is it with your soul, but we use the CLIMB method, which stands for connect with God, learn something new, invest in key relationships, move toward the vision, and better your health. So some of the real life ways that mentorship takes place with us is our weekly conversations where we talk about CLIMB. We also talk about whatever might be happening, the hopes that we have for the city and the neighborhood as a collaborative effort. The neighborhood is a college ministry. The city is the contemporary service. And so, for example, right now we're doing emotional, healthy spirituality. So we've been doing that in our discipleship team meetings. Another tangible way that this mentorship and collaboration has taken place is by taking her wherever I go. So, for example, when there are opportunities where people will ask me to come and share about what's happening in the city or to write something up, her voice is always and often included in that because it's important to me to share leadership. And so this is it's a very interesting dynamic, this mentoring, collaborative sort of space, but always making room for her voice and her presence to also be had and not to sort of hog the limelight, if you will, like to really give her opportunities in the same way that people have and continue to give me opportunities to share and to be of service. I open those doors for her when I'm able to do that as well.
One of the first things that I had to do was figure out how to get students to come to this college ministry that I'm starting. And I thought that the easiest place to start would be with our graduating seniors getting ready to stay and go to Mizzou in the fall. And so I sent out a bunch of texts and got in contact with some students, and one of them was Ellen. And so the first time that we hung out, we went to Shakespeare's Pizza. We went to Shakespeare's Pizza because we hung out a couple of times, but we went and got pizza, and she was so much fun. And I was like, oh, we just get along really well. We can hang out and talk. And so we ended up hanging out a few more times after that. And very similarly to the evolution of Charity and I's mentorship relationship, Ellen and I began to just have conversations around college ministry and what are you looking for and what would draw you back into this space and how can you help and what that looks like. And so really we kind of for me, I saw this thing that had happened to me begin to be replicated in my relationship with someone else without me really having to try super hard to make it happen.
My name is Ellen Schmidt, and I am the Connections Coordinator for the Neighborhood College Ministry. I grew up in Columbia, am a student at Mizzou, and I've been attending Missouri United Methodist Church for about 16 years. Maddie was like, hey, I'm going to start these small groups. We're going to call them crews. Do you want to lead one? And I was like, oh, this is a lot of responsibility. But I was excited to do it and to be involved. And so I said, sure, absolutely, I'll do it. Being mentored allows me to have guidance in a lot of things, both faith-based and otherwise. Maddie being older puts her obviously out of college and working, which is something that I don't know about. So that's nice to have someone experienced who can help me with any questions I have about that, but also having more time in a church like she has gives her the ability to help me with any kind of questions I have or ideas I have. She's able to walk with me like that and kind of make decisions and provide clarity.
I definitely think that the way that Charity has invested in me has begun to replicate itself in the way that I'm able to invest in Ellen. I think part of that is really, honestly, just kind of happens naturally. I think that is when I think about what a mentorship relationship looks like, that is what I've learned to see it be, and that's what I've seen that dynamic be in my own life. And so it's really easy for me to kind of have those conversations with Ellen because I know what that conversation was with myself. I've experienced it before, and I think that makes it really effortless. I think if it would have had this really structured model of what it was that we were supposed to do and what this looked like, it would have felt forced, and I don't think it would have been as easy to see it duplicated in my relationship with another person.